This is All India Radio, Whispers of the Wind. All India Radio, in collaboration with Vigyan-Prasar, presents science serial Whispers of the Wind, based on understanding and managing climate change and global warming. Let us listen to the episode number 44, titled Changing Pattern of Weather.
Hema?
Huh?
Look at the window.
Yeah.
Just look outside.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Look here, I've been telling you for so many days. We need to change the roof of the cowshed, or sooner or later it's going to be blown away by the strong winds. Only then you will pay heed to my words.
That we can do later, Hema. Right now we need to close all doors and windows. How strongly the wind is blowing.
Listen, bring in the bag of manure kept in the veranda, or else it will get wet and be ruined. I'll close the window.
Oh, the weather. We can't predict it anymore. It can turn any moment. Oh dear, the hailstones are bouncing into the room. If the door is not closed, the hailstones will cover the room too.
It was so pleasant in the morning, but by the noon the weather started changing so rapidly, and now...
The electricity has also failed. Won't be restored till morning, I think.
Please call Savita. It is already time she reached. She left the hostel around noon today.
Yes. I will call her immediately. She will be about to reach, I think. I did tell her not to venture out in case of inclement weather. But she insisted. What can I do? Oh, my battery is dead. My mobile is not working and there is no electricity also.
That must be Savita. At least the old phone has proved its usefulness.
Yeah, true. Hello? Yeah? Savita, where are you? Okay, take care. And don't rush. Fine. Okay.
Well, what did Savita say?
She said she could be reaching in 5 to 10 minutes. She's almost home.
Well, the hailstorm is abating somewhat. Hopefully the storm and the heavy rain will stop soon too.
Yeah, Hema, but the damage caused by hailstorm is done. I really do not know what enmity the weather has with us. Sometimes it's drought, at other times it is flood, or else hailstorms and cyclones.
Very correctly said. The weather baffles me too. Earlier, till Holi we used to have such a pleasant weather. Not too hot, not too cold. Now look, so much has changed in the last 10 to 15 years. And we farmers are suffering the most because of the vagaries of the weather.
Everyone is suffering, Hema. Everyone is confused and worried too. But what is to be done? Do you think the hailstorm and rains have not caused any damage today? We will only know the entire damage by tomorrow. Who knows what catastrophe have been unleashed by this hailstorm?
A meeting is scheduled for tomorrow at the Panchayat Bhavan. You will be attending, won't you?
Yeah, thank you for reminding me. It is important that I attend this meeting. Some officers of the Agriculture Research Center are supposed to come. And of course, the Block Development Office will also be present. If the weather permits, the meeting will surely be held.
During up the topic of the damage caused to the crops in the field. Months of labor wiped out by few hours of rain. Why isn't someone doing something?
I think Savita is here.
Oh,
Mama, Papa, I'm back.
finally. Savita, you just don't listen. What was the need to venture out in this weather?
Mom.
Okay, Hema, relax. Just let her enter first. She must have got wet. Poor dear.
Yes, Papa. Although I stepped out only after the hailstorm stopped, I had already reached the bus stand. And this umbrella, this is completely useless. The wind was blowing so fiercely and the electricity had failed too.
I know.
And you know what? I saw that the storm has uprooted quite a few trees too. But the weather is clearing up now. That is good.
Thank God, beta, you're safe.
Yes, Mama.
So many trees have been no every time
This can't be done.
Papa,
Yeah?
yesterday's hailstorm has really caused a lot of damage. See this, Papa? This big tree has crashed on top of the Panchayat Bhavan.
Yes, beta, yes. Yesterday's storm has caused a lot of damage to our village.
Pradhanji,
Yes, Meena?
the rough weather yesterday has flattened all the crops in the field, and that is why I had come to the meeting today. But the Panchayat Bhavan has been damaged so badly that it is not fit to be used. There is no place to sit. I think I should return home.
No, Meena. Please stay. We will definitely hold the meeting today. We cannot hold the meeting in the Panchayat Bhavan, but we can use the school. I have already arranged this with the head teacher yesterday. School is going to get over shortly. Then we can use the classroom for our meeting.
This is a good arrangement, Pradhanji.
Well, school is over. Papa, let's go there now.
Yeah, let's go. Come, Meena. Come, Rajesh. Namaste, Dr. Sahib.
Namaskar.
How are you?
I'm good.
When did you arrive? Please take a seat.
I reached a short while ago. Our BDO was supposed to come here, but he had to visit another village, so he could not make it here. As you know, yesterday's storm has caused damage over a widespread area, and I think we should start the meeting for which we have gathered here.
Yes, Dr. Sahib. Please, everybody, take your seat. Sit down. Sit. As you can see, Dr. Rajesh from Agriculture Research Center is here with us. I welcome him on behalf of our entire village. We had something else as our agenda for this meeting, but yesterday's storm has caused such havoc in our fields that I now invite you to speak about it. Dr. Saab?
Sir, usually we get advance warning about the weather on the radio, but this time there was no cautionary advice or anything. Can the weather turn suddenly like this without notice?
See, actually, erratic weather patterns are plugging not just in this region, but it is evident everywhere. As you can see, the desert areas of Rajasthan are facing either droughts or floods. And this has been the pattern for the last few years.
Yes, this is so.
Now, you can take the example of Barmer. In 2015, more than 2,000 villages were affected by drought. However, the very next year, there was a very heavy rainfall. In 2016, in the same district, there was 4 times more than the normal rainfall in October alone. It led to the worst floods in the Rajasthan in 200 years.
Very correctly observed, Dr. Sahab. Then again, the monsoon does not arrive on time. Unseasonal rain makes reaping of crops quite difficult. This is affecting our entire agriculture cycle. Strong winds flatten the standing grains of moong, bajra and til.
Correct. That is exactly what I'm saying. Everything is changing. Rain, storms, cyclones, the patterns are all changing. Meteorological data reveal that the kind of rain we had in 2016 occurred here after 100 years.
How strange. Once upon a time, we used to feel happy on seeing lakes and ponds brimming over with water.
Exactly.
Now the lack of enough water is an issue. First, it is the sun that caused us distress. Now, it is the rain. Why is this happening? Have we done something wrong, Dr. Saab?
No. Mahendraji, this is not the fault of an individual alone. It is actually the result of global climate change.
Result of global climate change?
Yes.
I'm sorry, but I do not understand.
Meena auntie, let me explain it to you. See, our earth is getting warmer and warmer every year, and this increase in temperature is affecting the weather worldwide. Thus, there is no accounting for rainfall and for droughts. Have I explained it correctly, sir?
Absolutely correct. And you are very much right. But you are...
Dr. Saab, she's my daughter, Savita.
Okay.
She studies in college and has come home because today is a holiday.
Okay, brilliant.
I still do not clearly understand global climate change. But from experience, I can say that the weather patterns are changing and we are facing its anger more often.
Yes, indeed. Areas of Rajasthan which were dry and desert-like now face regular flooding. And this includes the floods of 2006, the floods of 2015 or floods of 2016 and 17. These areas were never known to face floods, but now floods are recurrent and cover larger areas each time. Yes, do you want to say something? You.
Yes. My name is Suraj.
I want to say that we can bear the heat but not floods.
Yes, you are correct, Suraj. We never worried over much about coping with floods and all, but now we fear cloud bursts.
Look, you should not be afraid, but be aware. Cloudbursts happen mostly in Himalayan regions and sometimes in plains too.
Wasn't it a great calamity in Uttarakhand when there was a cloudburst in 2013?
Yes, correct. The catastrophe in Kedarnath region in June 2013 is recognized as one of the India's worst floods ever. The floods that occurred after a cloudburst led to the deaths of over 5,000 people. Because it happened in a localized area, the number of casualties was very high. Probably the highest number of deaths in the country from the floods.
This is a scary situation. I have heard that rains in the hilly regions used to persist for days. But I have never heard of damage and loss of this magnitude before.
Auntie, disasters such as these have increased in recent years. And these natural disasters have led to enormous loss too. But of course, such incidents have happened earlier too. Take for example the cloudburst on 15th August 1997 in Chirgaon in Himachal Pradesh. 1,500 people died there.
Absolutely correct, Savita. Incidents such as these are becoming more numerous and more dangerous too. Take the 2018 floods in Kerala, for example.
Yes, Dr. Saab. I heard on the news that over 500 people lost their lives because of this flood. Lakhs of people were rendered homeless too.
You are very much correct, Suraj. It began to rain on 8th August 2018 and it rained incessantly for 10 days. The clouds showered 2.5 times more water than what is considered normal. The flood led to a total collapse of electricity, drinking water and transport systems. More than 2,000 relief camps were needed for the affected people.
Really? It was such a huge problem?
Yes, indeed it was. But it wasn't just the loss of property and lives. Natural resources were affected too. Vast areas of the Western Ghats that are considered eco-sensitive zones suffered because of the flood. A similar flood that had occurred in Kerala in 1924, and for 3 weeks the area had reeled under it.
You mean we in Rajasthan must also gear up to face a similar situation?
See, Meenaji, it isn't like that. But however, this much is certain that the weather patterns are becoming unpredictable. We cannot forecast the weather patterns solely relying on the past history. Currently, we have many examples of recent incidences of sudden heavy rainfall and floods.
Many examples like?
In year 2005, a large area in Maharashtra suffered huge loss of lives and property because of heavy rainfall.
Oh.
In Mumbai alone, over 400 people lost their lives. It is not just that the incidents of heavy and insistent rainfall happen only in the plains. It happens in Himalayan areas also. See, Leh is considered to be an area that receives scanty rainfall. But in August 2010 floods, which caused a havoc there, more than 250 people lost their lives because of it.
But sir, Leh is called a cold desert, isn't it?
Yes, Savita. But then again, in 2012, Brahmaputra flooded parts of Assam. Jammu and Kashmir faced floods in 2014. And not to forget the floods in Bihar in 2004, which caused such a devastation.
And the Chennai floods on 2nd and 3rd December 2015, they were pretty terrible too.
Yes, indeed. Chennai recorded highest rainfall in a century during this short period. More than 250 people died because of the flood. Actually, it is becoming pretty apparent in the last few years that the pattern of rainfall is changing. Instead of June, more rain is falling in the months of August and September. And this trend has become more common in recent years.
Dr. Saib, if rainfall patterns and the nature of rainfall have changed over the past few years, we have noticed that the summer season has changed too. Summers are more severe and last longer as compared to the winter season.
You are absolutely correct. And I must say your observation is very true. In last 50 years or so, hot winds or the Lu has increased in severity. It is at least 2.5 times more severe as compared to the last few years.
2.5 times.
Yes. Our country lost about 2,000 people in 2015 because of scorching heat and the loo.
I remember it well. The hot winds and terrible heat affected not just humans but birds and beasts too.
Correct. In our country, more than 1,000 people perished in 2016 because of the heat wave conditions. In Telangana alone, about 300 people died in the months of April and May. The heat waves affected South India, Central India and Western India the most. Apart from this, I must say that 2016 was the hottest year on the record.
Really?
Yes. The most significant point in the hottest decade in India has been the last one. The years between 2007 and 2018 have been the hottest one.
The storm we had yesterday in our village cannot have been less dangerous.
Very right. Very much correct. In recent years, the number of sudden storms is on the rise. And amongst these incidents, the dust storm that occurred in May 2018, remember, deserves to be noted.
Yes, Dr. Sahib. I think that dust storm started in our state and proceeded to engulf Haryana and Uttar Pradesh too.
Very much correct, Pradhanji. The dust storm that started on 2nd May 2018 caused the deaths of more than 100 people in North India. Plus, it led to enormous loss of property too. Although these strong winds do not persist for very long, these lead to a lot of destruction and damage. In 2018, about 50 dust storms in India led to the death of more than 500 people. And you will be surprised to know that between 2003 and 2017, there were only 22 dust storms.
You mean to say that the incidence of dust storms is also on the rise?
Exactly.
The hailstorm and dust storm yesterday also caused widespread destruction in our village. Can we expect some aid or not?
Yes, aid will be provided. Look, all of you who have been affected, please write an application for compensation for damage to crops and houses. Those of you who have already written your application may submit those to me. It was a pleasure meeting you, Dr. Sahib.
Thank you.
We have learnt a lot from you. Come, please, join us for a cup of tea.
Sure.
Come, everybody.
Sure, Pradhanji, please.
This was nice. This was
Papa,
Yes, Savita?
you go on and have tea. I must return home now.
Okay.
Sir,
Yes?
I still have a few unanswered questions. If you have some spare time, may I drop in at the science center to meet you?
Oh, why not? You may come at any time. Afternoon.
Okay, sir, I will. Now I must go. Bye, sir.
Bye.
Papa, you must have visited this place earlier also, right?
Yes, dear. I come here quite often.
See, there he is, Dr. Rajesh. He must be waiting for us.
Yeah, I'm sure. Namaste, Dr. Sahib.
Namaskar, Pradhanji. Please come.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste, Savita. How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Please come in. I was waiting for you guys. Please, take your seats.
Thank you.
So, tell me, Savita, what is that you wanted to ask?
Sir, it is quite clear to me that in the last few years, extreme weather events have manifested often. Whether it is torrential rainfall, or dust storms, or hot winds, these are happening more frequently than before.
Very true.
But sir, isn't it a good thing that a dry and arid area like Rajasthan is getting rainfall even during floods? At least there will be greenery in the arid areas.
I was thinking the same thing but did not ask Dr. Sahib.
It's okay. Look, Savita, in a way, what you're saying is correct. But think of it in this way. Floods will no doubt add moisture to an arid landscape. However, the presence of this extra water will cause the extinction of those plants that are adapted to thrive under arid conditions.
Oh.
Take for an example, Falodi in Jodhpur, where temperature touched 47 degrees in 2015. Do you think those plants, insects and other creatures that can survive in such high temperatures can survive in flood or heavy rainfall?
This is correct observation, Dr. Sahib. I have noticed that ever since it has started raining heavily in this area, the deer has vanished. No one knows where they have gone.
Exactly. The deer like dry land for grazing. insistent heavy rains and floods have transformed the dry terrain into a swampy areas, so the deer have left the areas.
That is such a problem for the deer. Let's think of it. This actually impacts the entire ecosystem.
It does.
I have read that extreme weather conditions are plaguing the world. It is not restricted to only our country, and it is increasingly being thought that climate change and global warming are behind this phenomena.
That's true. But it is not possible to simply observe and determine if the changes are merely local weather phenomenon or a result of climate change.
But hasn't all this begun when the Earth's temperature was shown to be increasing?
Yes, this is correct, and the correlation between the global warming and extreme weather events has been established too.
But how so?
Well, take cloudbursts or unseasonal torrential rains. Clouds are necessary for rain to fall, right? Cloud act as a linking agents between an area and planetary water resources. You must have heard of the Western disturbance?
Yeah.
Well, global warming has impacted Western disturbance, and this has in turn affected the weather of India.
Oh.
Dr. Saib, we often hear these terms on the weather bulletins, but what do that mean and what connection does it have with the weather condition of our country?
Let me explain to you, Pradhanji. Western disturbance is a type of tropical storm. It passes over the Caspian Sea and reaches India. These winds temporarily change the weather conditions.
But what connection does it have with global warming?
Yes, there is a definite connection. The effect of increased temperature has impacted the climate of the Arctic region and, as a result, affected the Western disturbance behaves. Usually, we would see 2 to 3 Western disturbances in a year. But these days, their incidence has increased.
Oh.
Usually, these breezes would reach us in winter, and these brought rain to the Himalayan regions. Nowadays, these are reaching in April, May, or June, and the results are before you.
So this means that the increased temperatures have brought about a change in the pattern of Western disturbance and also triggered a sudden change in our country's weather patterns.
Absolutely, that's true. To a certain extent. It is not restricted to cloudburst, hot winds, or dust storms and cyclones. It includes excessive snowfall or even extremely poor snowfall in Himalayan regions.
But Dr. Saib,
Yes?
unseasonal rains were not unknown before. And we did face floods once in a while.
What you are saying is correct, Pradhanji. But if you take the first few years of the last century and compare those with the first few years of this century, you will notice that the incidence of extreme events is on the increase.
Oh.
Actually, it has increased 100-fold. It means that the backlash of climate change is manifesting swiftly.
Dr. Saib, then what can we do to avoid facing nature's wrath?
Pradhanji, there is nothing we can do that will give immediate results. This is because of global warming, is a result of 100 years of neglect or more. However, attention to conservation of energy resources and efficient techniques of water conservation may alleviate the situation somewhat. You see, if the earth heats up relentlessly, then we must be ready to face nature's backlash.
We must do something.
Yes,
All this is impacting our animal husbandry practices and agriculture too.
true.
Rajasthan is India's second largest producer of milk. The increase in temperature is affecting milk production too.
Quite right. And in the earlier days, if you remember, one rainy season would last, roughly speaking, 4 months.
Correct.
Now, that has shrunk. It is raining much more over fewer days.
Let me put it in this way. The heated earth has disturbed the rhythm of nature.
That's true. Pradhanji, the responsibility of restoring the disturbed rhythm to its original state lies on us all.
Completely.
Papa, looks like the weather is worsening again.
Yeah.
Let's go home. There is high chance of getting caught in the storm. Sir, thank you so much. You spared so much time for us.
Oh, it's all right. Pleasure was mine. But I think you two should leave now, because the conditions might get worse.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Okay, bye,
Thank you,
sir.
Dr. Sai.
Thank you.
Whispers of the Wind. You are listening to the 44th episode of the science serial produced by All India Radio in collaboration with Vigyan-Prasar, titled Changing Pattern of Wealth. This episode was written by Srinivas Suri. Coordinators were Dr. Nakul Parashar and Dr. Virendra Kumar Tyagi. This episode was directed by Kajal Suri, presented by Dilip Jha. Participants were Nikhil Diwan, Mannat Nagar, Gaurav Devgan, Surbhi Verma and Manal Sai. Hi listeners, please stay with us. Here are 2 questions for you. The lucky winners will get attractive prizes from Vigyan-Prasar. The first question is, what is eco-sensitive zone? And the second question is, what is extreme weather events? You can send your answers by simple post. Our address is Science Serial Whispers of the Wind, Director Vigyan-Prasar, A50, Institutional Area, Sector 62, Noida 201309. You can also write on our email ID radio@vigyanprasar.gov.in. Please do write or mail us your full name, age, address and profession. If associated with Science Club, do let us know the membership of your club. If you have any query or questions, don't hesitate to write to us. We will be back again with the next episode of this science serial, Whispers of the Wind. Same day, same time, next week. Till then, goodbye.